Welcome to Law You Should Know. The law affects every aspect of our lives, our home, our jobs, and our recreational activities. Now you can learn about the law and how to protect yourself against the loss of your liberty or property. Learn how to stand up for your rights and seek compensation when you have been wronged. Your host for Law You Should Know is attorney Kenneth J. Landau with the Mineola Law Firm of Shane, Dox, Denisi, and Corker. He's a member of the Committee on Professional Ethics of the Bar Association of Nassau County and counsel to the Nassau Academy of Law. And now, here is your host for Law You Should Know, attorney Kenneth J. Landau.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome to Law You Should Know. My guest today is Barry Shore. He has a very unique background, and I'll let him tell you about it in a moment. And we're going to talk about reducing holiday stress for lawyers and for everyone else. The holidays and the end of the year can be a stressful time for everyone, and Barry's going to help us to learn how to deal with and lower our stress level. Just one word about Barry. Jack Canfield, who's the author or the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, which has sold millions of books, calls him a blend of Richard Simmons and Tony Robbins. So, before you give information to our listeners, tell us your story in 90 seconds or less.
Ken, it's so hard to even say hello in 90 seconds or less, but first we're going to do the following. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. And how do I know you're good-looking? Because if you're tuned in to Ken's Law You Should Know, by definition, you're always looking for and finding the good.
And of course, everyone's good-looking on the radio, the speakers and the listeners.
Radio, Ken. as my mother used to say, you got a face for radio, kid. You're great. So the genius and the beauty of working together around this holiday season is, remember, we're growing up, and most of us now are older than 30, I'm going to say that, and some of us are even past 60. Hey, the holiday is supposed to be filled with cheer and joy, right? And yet, what do we find? That this is the time of the year where the most stress comes in. And we know 4 words. Stress kills. Joy heals. So let me give you a little bit of background about Barry Shore. You need some bona fides just because we're all attorneys, right? Actually, I was a student of the law before I decided not to go to law school, and I clerked for one of the most famous law firms in the history of American jurisprudence, which is Skadden, Arps, Slate, Meagher & Flom. Ken, you know who they are, right? Because
yes.
Today they are a major worldwide firm. But when I started clerking at Skadden Arps, I grew up in Brookline, Massachusetts, or Boston, as everybody would know it. And the first satellite office of Skadden Arps was established in Boston, and I was hired as their clerk, their only clerk for the 2 major partners of the firm. That was the first time that Mr. Flom allowed anybody to go outside of New York City. He did it because it was the firm was headed there in Boston by a man named Mr. Peary, who was the scion of the great Carson Peary Scott family stores out of Chicago. But suffice it to say, I know a little bit about the law, enough to be dangerous. But let's
focus on joy now. I don't want to cut you off, but we need you to bring joy to our listeners and our lawyers and clients out there.
Right. So here it is. Everybody knows that stress kills, joy heals. So first of all, what is stress? Let's define it, because we're word masters, right? Stress is an acronym that stands for stomach-turning realization, enabling self-sabotage. That's what stress is. Something happens, either a death or a divorce or something major, an accident, such like that. And now it's how you deal with it that really makes a difference. So Ken asked me, I'll give you my bona fides. Barry Shore was standing up in the morning 15 years ago, just like everybody, I hope, listening to this radio show right now. And the end of that day, 15 years ago, I was in the hospital, paralyzed from my neck down. I became a quadriplegic in a matter of hours, and it was not through an automobile accident or a spinal injury. It was because of a rare disease. It happens to be called Guillain-Barré syndrome or French polio. So imagine that is stress, the ultimate stress, because now I am paralyzed. What does my wife do? My son, our family, our businesses, all of that happens. I was able to emerge from that situation, not with stomach-turning realities or situation enabling self-sabotage, but a stomach-turning realization enabling self-success. I was able to assess where I was, look at the situation, recognize I am now paralyzed. Thank God, no, not completely paralyzed any longer. I'm able to get around with help with 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can't even walk up a stair by myself, but I'm still a bit mobile. But I made a resolution to be able to find joy daily in my life. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that when you can't even move and you have to be fed? You can't turn a page in a book. That's because what I did is I began to look inside and study all those things that we want to do, but we tend to put them aside because life gets in the way. The message for today is don't let life get in the way. Let life be your guide to joy. So what is joy? Let's first of all understand, Ken, what the word law means, because I love to work in acronyms. And when we work with acronyms, we find out very powerfully how words can help us. So as a simple example, WWW. If you ask anybody, what does it stand for? They'll tell you it has nothing to do with the internet, right? But in the world that we inhabit, that I am urging all the people listening to inhabit with your neuro-linguistic programming, WWW stands for What a Wonderful World. When you approach it with that understanding, now every time you see WWW, think WWW, you're using your mind and then your words and your deeds to incorporate into your being the power of everyday simple terms. So best example I can give you, smile. Right now, Ken, you're smiling. Okay, because that's what happens when you hear the word smile. The word smile is an acronym, stands for seeing miracles in life every day. Wow, that's a great acronym. But here's what happens. People say to me invariably when I speak to groups, whether it's 50 people or 3,000 recently, well, hey, Barry, sure, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen a miracle. Matter of fact, I got the opposite happening. And I ask, are you here? Can you hear? Can you see? Do you have food? Do you have clean water to drink? Millions of people did not get out of bed this morning. And I know, Ken, because for years I could not get out of bed in the morning. For me to open my eyes and now be able to move my body and get up out of bed, albeit with help, that's a miracle. So people will say, well, come on, Barry Shore. Yeah, that you're a small percentage of the world. I'm a hearty, healthy person. And as everybody knows, that can change in an instant. So what we're working with when we talk about joy of living daily is beginning to use neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, in a most subtle, beautiful way to understand the three fundamentals of life. And these are the following, Ken. Number one, life has purpose. Not the purpose to accumulate, the purpose to go mad. That's the next stage. Once you understand that life has purpose, now you can go mad. MAD is a great acronym that stands for Go Make a Difference. When your life is built around purpose and making a difference, now you can begin to experience and taste joy. It's not joy. It's not joy and happiness. Oh, I'm happy because something happened. It's literally living in joy daily. Now, I will urge everybody to go to my website, barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE, barryshore.com, and you can download for free the 11 strategies for living in joy daily. 11 strategies for living in joy daily, and it's free, absolutely free. I did this because I have purpose, and I'm going mad. I'm going to make a difference in the world. You quoted Jack Canfield, the author or the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, the largest selling title in book publishing history, over 500 million copies. And when he interviewed me, and he said, you're a combination of Richard Simmons and Tony Robbins, because the infection of bringing forth into the world joy and happiness, peace and love is available to every single human being when they recognize that they have purpose, they make a difference in people's lives. And by the way, especially lawyers. You want to hear something interesting about the word law, Ken?
Sure.
Law is a great acronym. When people outside of the law hear the word, they sometimes tremble. People in the law, like us, okay, this is our business, our profession. But when you think that law is an acronym that stands for love and wisdom, you have a whole new outlook on what the law is. Law is the incorporation of love and wisdom, because when you work in the law and you practice it for the benefit of your clients, obviously you want to win. But there's the theory of law, there's the practice of law, and there's the business of law. Law can become a pressurized and, how should we say it,
intense.
Let me find the right word. Sorry? Intense and antagonistic environment. Very good. Pressurized, intense, and antagonistic environment, because that's the nature of what we do. We're dealing with situations with, again, stressful situations. Now let's bring it to the time where we're in now. We are in the holidays. This is supposed to be chestnuts roasting on an open fire, right? Jack Frost nipping at your nose. And yet, people are thinking, oh my gosh, I have this case coming up. I have to postpone this. I have presents to buy. I got to make sure that my wife or my spouse or my significant other or my kids are all taken care of. And all of a sudden, the cheer turns to jeer, and we're grinding our gears, and we're not allowing ourselves to live. Life is an acronym. It stands for living for eternity. When you begin to recognize that you don't only work in the now in the sense of, I got to get this done, in the sense of a broader aspect, and learn how to use God's greatest gift, which is, you ready for this, Ken?
I would just want to ask you to hold that till after the break. We have to take a short break now. When we return, I'm going to give you a new acronym, and you can comment about it. You're listening to a program about joy, why it's important for lawyers to feel some joy and their clients to feel some joy, and less stress, especially during the year-end and the holidays. You're listening to Law You Should Know on the Voice of Nassau Community College on 90.3 WHPC, also over the Internet, and with free podcast available at nccradio.org. We'll be back in a moment.
This program is brought to you by Nassau Community College, which offers a paralegal studies program. Students can major in paralegal studies while earning their associate's degree, or earn a paralegal certificate if they already have a college degree. These programs can even help you start a second career as a paralegal. It's a program for anyone who wants to work in a law office assisting lawyers, the government, or a position in an insurance company. More information about full-time, part-time, days, evenings, weekends, or online courses is available by calling 516-572-7774 or by email at paralegal@ncc.edu.
Once again, we continue with Law You Should Know. From the Mineola Law Firm of Shane, Dox, Denise, Corker, and Sauer, here is attorney Kenneth J. Landau.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome back to Law You Should Know. Today we're talking about joy and reducing stress for lawyers and litigants and everyone else out there. And we're talking to Barry Shore, who's kind of the guru of joy, as you've heard. And I just want to, Barry, just expand on the acronym MAD you gave us before. And if we add a one letter, E, to it, we have the word, or the acronym MADE. So if you just expand that out, it means make a difference every day. And everyone has the power to bring joy, and lawyers should try to do that to someone, especially those less fortunate or those less happier to everyone. So if you could create a little joy for someone else, usually that itself will make you feel better and has like a boomerang effect. And as Barry said, lawyers are worried about many things, and litigants are worried about many things. So maybe somehow you can try to mitigate and reduce the anxiety and stress of your clients, be they large or small, by just updating them about their case and showing that it's under control and what the worst case and the best case parameters are and how there are room to reduce the risks. Anyway, your turn, Barry. You were about to give us another acronym.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Ken, because we love building more and better acronyms. And now to be able to have MADE as part of it, that's going to go in your column. So thank you very much. I'm going to share now 2 practice tips and tools that are so simple that will literally enable people to live in joy daily. And you mentioned one of the aspects of the umbrella is the word service, Ken. When we understand that we're in service, then we have less stress just because we understand we're here to be of benefit. That's how I call Bob. Everybody has Bob in their life. When you learn to be of benefit, then by definition you have less stress because you're in service. So there are 2 pieces we're going to share right now. One is the following. The 2 most important words that you add to your vocabulary. I know we're doing this already, but I want you to do this consciously and conscientiously 5 times a day minimum. You do this consciously and conscientiously 5 times a day minimum, and you will change your demeanor and the demeanor of everyone around you in your office, with your clients, and with your family, which, of course, is most important. And these 2 words are thank you. Thank you. THANK is a remarkable acronym that stands for to harmonize and network kindness. The Dalai Lama has been quoted as saying, and I've read what he wrote, be kind whenever possible. And it's always possible. So here's an example. You go to your local coffee shop and you're going to spend $4.50, $5 on a latte, and they bring it to you. Thank you. You spend $4.50, $5 for a latte, and they don't bring it to you. They forgot about you. You have to go up and remind them. Thank you. You're walking out the door, and someone opens it for you. Thank you. You're walking out the door, and someone slams the door in front of you. Thank you. You're driving on the freeway in Long Island, and they cut you off. Thank you. You get up in the middle of the night, you stub your toe, and it hurts, and you're about to say, thank you. Because when you begin to program into yourself this ability to recognize that you're in service, you're making a difference every day, as Kent said, and you use the words thank you, and you begin to do it consciously and conscientiously, your demeanor changes, and you now are touching the joy muscle. I'm going to share with you one practice that if you do this 94 seconds a day, that's all it takes, 94 seconds a day, I do it twice a day, you will not only reduce, mitigate, maybe even eliminate stress for a great part of your day, but you'll have better sex also. How's that, Ken? I guarantee it, okay? And here's the practice. It's called QMSM. It's called quiet mind, silent mind. Quiet mind, silent mind. And the practice is very simple. You sit on your chair in your office and just breathe quietly. That's all. We call it allowing a conscious, loving breath. Not taking a breath, allowing. Just allow a breath to come in, and as the breath goes out, you think the words quiet mind. That's all. Now, by the way, if you're like me, when you say quiet mind, you have 33 things running around your mind, because we're human, right? And especially as we're in the legal business. Quiet mind. Just allow a next breath and think the words quiet mind, silent mind. Again, just gently think those thoughts. And that's what's going to begin to happen. Allowing the next breath, you're thinking silent mind, and you're allowing that to merge into a place where you are now calm and aware, and you're going to touch the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence of you. And on this final breath, you're going to allow conscious, loving breath. You're going to emerge from silent mind back to this word listen, because listen and silent have the same letters. You're going now into the word listen. You'll be more attuned. You'll be more calm, more aware, because you did touch the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence of you. Do this twice a day, once before noon and once after noon. You'll be more relaxed, have much less stress, if any. You'll be able to begin to touch joy, and you'll have better sex.
And I just want to throw something in. We only have about 5 minutes left in the show, so keep that in mind. But in your office, you can do something. Lawyers call it pro bono when they give free legal advice or join a bar association clinic. So as the lawyers, you can think about that. It's a very rewarding experience. And also in your office, you can offer to be a collection, set up a collection box among your employees, among your neighbors, or among the public or your clients for food or collection or school supplies or something else for the holidays or throughout the year. It will give you good PR and it'll make everyone feel good, and also in your office and in the community.
Ken, those are two very essential aspects of living. As you said, I tell you, I presume that everybody was doing pro bono work already, so I'm glad you mentioned it again. It's really important because it's the aspect of service. You don't have to be Mother Teresa to make a difference in the world. Everybody makes a difference.
And there are many other benefits for lawyers. We don't have time to elaborate right now. Anyway, we have about 4 minutes left, so I want you to give some valuable tips on joy and reducing stress for lawyers and their clients.
Good. So let's talk about one, which is health. Because that's what does stress do? Stress kills. It literally causes physical rashes. We know that it causes heart attacks. We know that it can cause anxiety, depression, obesity. It is the worst possible position to be in. Health, especially good health, is what we're striving towards. Health is a great acronym. Think the following. Health stands for helping everyone achieve life through happiness. Helping everyone achieve life through happiness. Think good health. When you begin to think a certain way and speak a certain way, using the words thank you consciously and conscientiously at least 5 times a day, and you begin to act that way, whether it's setting up a collection box or doing pro bono, and you're in service, you are now integrating into your life those 3 aspects, thoughts, words, and deeds, which make a difference, and literally you will not begin experiencing stress. It will be so far away from you, it will not be attracted to you. You want to become an attractive being, then do the things we're talking about. Say thank you 5 times a day, consciously, conscientiously. Think health, helping everyone achieve life through happiness. Think smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Go mad, go make a difference. And as Ken pointed out, make a difference every day by practicing these things on a regular basis, even when it happens that stuff you don't really like. Remember, that's what causes stress, stuff you don't like. Begin to breathe, think quiet mind, silent mind, and touch your positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence. And within 94 seconds, you will be transformed, and you'll have holiday cheer. And not just in December, but all year round. You will become a transformed being. People will say, wow, what happened with you? And by the way, wow is a great acronym, words of wisdom. And I hope we were able to share some of those words of wisdom with the audience today, Ken. And I truly appreciate you inviting me. Everybody, again, go to barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE. Go to barryshore.com and avail yourself of this. 11 strategies for living in joy daily, and it's free. Free.
And I just want to borrow that acronym, WOW. We're in our 30th year of this show, so I hope that over the years and in the future, we've been giving our listeners words of wisdom along with information about the law. Barry, just 1 minute, your closing thoughts.
Every day should be a holiday. And when it's a holiday, you celebrate. And when you celebrate life. I would like to give a blessing to everybody out there. Go forth. Live the blessing. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. And thank you, Ken, for enabling me to be on the show. And a huge bravo to you for 30 years of being in service.
And even if you're not ready to adopt all the things that Barry has taught us, by helping out someone else, even if it's just holding the door open for them or thanking them or maybe giving them a little extra tip for the holidays, you will bring joy to yourself, and sooner rather than later, that in turn will help you to feel joy.
Absolutely correct.
And Barry, your website one more time. BarryShore.com, BARRYSHORE, BarryShore.com. 11 strategies for living in joy daily, and it's free. And you'll love it. You'll be thanking Ken. You'll be calling him, sending him emails, sending him texts, saying, Ken, you are a wow. And I hope that our listeners are welcome to join us next week for some more wow, words of wisdom and information about the law here on Law You Should Know. If you missed any part of the broadcast, or you want to let other people know about it, or you want to find some other shows in podcast form that will tell you about how to do pro bono work, just go to nccradio.org, and please join us next week at this same time for another program on Law You Should Know on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and also over the internet at nccradio.org.